Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel where we break down real money opportunities, settlements and ways to put extra cash back in your pocket without the fluff. Today we're diving deep into one of the biggest banking class action settlements of 2026, the Capital One 360 savings account interest rate litigation. If you've ever had a Capital One 360 savings account, this video could literally pay you. I'm going to walk you through every single detail, who qualifies, how much you might actually get, exactly how the money will reach you, important deadlines that have already passed, and what you need to do right now to make sure you don't miss out. Stick around until the end because I'll also share some pro tips on protecting yourself from settlement scams and what this means for your future banking decisions. This is going to be a long, thorough guide, so grab a notepad or bookmark this video. Let's get into it. First, let's understand exactly what this lawsuit was all about. Starting back in 2019, Capital One introduced a new product called the 360 Performance Savings Account. They heavily advertised higher interest rates on these new accounts, sometimes significantly higher than what they were paying on their existing 360 savings accounts. Many long-time customers who had been loyal with the original 360 savings accounts felt they were being shortchanged. The plaintiffs argued that Capital One was misleading customers by promoting higher rates on essentially the same type of savings product while quietly paying lower rates on the older accounts. Capital One has denied any wrongdoing, but rather than go through a long trial, they agreed to this $425 million settlement to resolve the claims. This isn't some tiny payout. We're talking about hundreds of millions of dollars being distributed to potentially millions of account holders across the United States. That's why this is such a big deal in 2026. Now, the most important question. Do you qualify for a piece of this settlement? You are part of the settlement class if you or an entity you represent maintained a Capital One 360 savings account at any time between September 18th, 2019 and June 16th, 2025. That's the official class period. Let me repeat that because it's crucial. It's not just people who have the account right now in 2026. If you had a 360 savings account for even one day during those nearly 6 years, you're likely included. This covers both individual accounts and joint accounts, but the payment will only go to the primary account holder listed on the account. Important exclusions. If you only ever had a 360 performance savings account and never had the original 360 savings version, you do not qualify. Also excluded are Capital One employees, officers, directors, their family members, the judges and court staff involved in the case, and anyone who formally opted out by the March 30th, 2026 deadline. Here's something many people get wrong. You do not need to file a claim form. This is an automatic settlement. If you qualify, you're already in unless you opted out. No paperwork required from you in most cases. Let's talk money. How much are we actually talking about per person? The settlement money is not split equally. It's calculated on a pro rata basis, meaning your payment depends on how much additional interest you would have earned if your 360 savings account had received the higher 360 performance savings rates during the class period. Factors that increase your payout include higher average account balances during the period, longer time you held the account between 2019 and 2025, and multiple qualifying accounts. For example, someone who kept $50,000 in their 360 savings account for the full 6 years will receive substantially more than someone who had $2,000 for only a few months. The exact formulas are complex and involve interest rate differentials at different points in time, but the settlement administrator is handling all those calculations. Attorney's fees, court costs, and administration expenses will be deducted from the $425 million fund first. After that, the remaining money is distributed to class members. While individual amounts vary widely, many people with decent balances are expecting payments ranging from a few dollars to several $100s. Some larger accounts could see even more. There is a minimum threshold. If your calculated share is under $5 and you didn't select electronic payment by the deadline, you might receive nothing, because checks are only being mailed for amounts $5 and above. Now, here's the timeline everyone is waiting for. Payments are scheduled to begin on or about July 27, 2026, or shortly after if any appeals delay things. That means in the coming weeks and months from when this video is published, many of you should start seeing checks in your mailbox or electronic deposits hitting your accounts. The settlement strongly encourages electronic payments because they're faster, more secure, and even small amounts under $5 can be delivered electronically. If you had the chance before March 30th, 2026 to select electronic payment on the official website, make sure your banking details are still correct. The official settlement website is Capital One 360 Savings Account Litigation.com. Go there right now, verify your eligibility, check your account information, and update your mailing address or electronic payment details if possible. When you visit the site, you'll probably need your Capital One account number or other identifying information to log in and see your status. The site also has detailed FAQs, the full settlement agreement, and contact information for the administrator. If you prefer to speak to someone, the toll-free number is 1-888-832-2704. Have your account details ready when you call, but never give out sensitive information unless you're sure you're on an official line. Important warning time. Scams are already popping up around this settlement. Do not click on random links in emails claiming to be about your Capital One payout. Do not give out your social security number, bank login, or credit card details to anyone who contacts you claiming to help with this settlement. The legitimate administrator will not ask for that information unsolicited. Only trust communications that come directly from the official website or the court-approved administrator. If something feels off, verify by going directly to Capital One 360 Savings Account Litigation.com. Let me give you more context on why this settlement matters beyond just the money. For years, banks have used different product versions to segment customers. New customers, or those who shop around, get better rates, while loyal, less active customers sometimes get lower rates. This lawsuit highlights that practice and forces more transparency. As part of the settlement, Capital One has also agreed to important forward-looking changes. Starting approximately 14 days after the effective date of the settlement, they will pay the same interest rate on existing 360 savings accounts as they do on 360 performance savings accounts, with certain commitments about maintaining both products. This could mean better returns for many customers going forward, even after the one-time settlement payment. Let's look at some hypothetical but realistic examples to help you estimate your potential payout. Someone who had $10,000 in their 360 savings account from January 2020 through December 2024 might receive between $150 and $400 depending on exact calculations and final deductions. Someone with only $1,500 for 8 months might get under $20 or possibly nothing if below the threshold. A small business or trust with $250,000 across qualifying accounts for the full period could be looking at several $1,000s. These are estimates only. Your actual amount will be precisely calculated based on Capital One's records of your account activity. To understand this better, let's go back a bit. Capital One 360 was originally ING Direct before Capital One acquired it. The 360 savings product was popular for its competitive rates and no-fee structure. When they launched a performance version with even higher rates and more marketing, it created the disparity that led to this class action. The case was filed in federal court and went through motions, discovery, and negotiations. The $425 million figure represents a significant commitment from Capital One and was deemed fair by the court after review. This settlement is separate from other Capital One legal matters, such as the massive 2019 data breach settlement that affected over 100 million people. If you received money from that earlier case, This is completely different. After the court gave final approval on April 20th, 2026, the claims administrator began finalising the distribution list using Capital One's customer records. They cross-checked addresses, account ownership, and other data to minimise errors. If your address has changed since you last updated it with Capital One, this is the time to update it on the settlement website. Undelivered checks will eventually be returned, and the money may go through a second distribution or to a Cypress fund, so accurate contact information is critical. For those who prefer paper checks, they will be mailed to the last known address on file. Electronic payments through ACH are faster and highly recommended. Let's answer some of the most common questions. I closed my 360 savings account in 2023. Am I still eligible? Yes, as long as you had it during the class period. I have both 360 savings and 360 performance accounts. Can I get paid on both? No, only the original 360 savings accounts qualify. Will this affect my taxes? Settlement payments for interest rate claims are generally considered taxable interest income. You should receive a 1099 INT form if your payment is $10 or more. Consult a tax professional for your specific situation. What if I move to a different state or country? Update your address on the settlement site. International addresses may have different processing times or restrictions. How long do I have to cash the check? Standard check validity periods apply, usually 90 days, but confirm with the administrator. Beyond this specific settlement, this case reminds all of us to be proactive with our banking relationships. Shop around for the best rates regularly. Use tools like Bankrate or deposit accounts to compare savings rates. Consider high-yield savings accounts from online banks that often offer better returns than traditional institutions. Diversify your savings across a few institutions to take advantage of different promotional rates and to stay under FDIC insurance limits of $250,000 per depositor per bank. Review all your old bank statements from 2019 through 2025 and note your average balances during that time. While you don't need this for the claim since it's automatic, it helps you estimate what to expect when the payment arrives. Check your spam folder for emails from the settlement administrator because sometimes legitimate notices end up filtered. If you had multiple accounts or joint accounts, make sure the primary holder is monitoring for the payment. Consider the opportunity cost. Money sitting in low interest accounts for years costs you thousands in potential earnings. Use this settlement as motivation to optimize your saving strategy moving forward. Document everything, including screenshots from the official website, and keep records of any communications. One common mistake many people make with settlements like this is ignoring the notification, or assuming the amount will be too small to matter. Even small payments add up, and taking the time to verify your information ensures you actually receive what you're entitled to. Another important practice is to think long-term about your banking habits after receiving the payout. Rather than spending the money immediately, consider reallocating it into higher yield opportunities so you continue to benefit from better interest rates going forward. This experience can serve as a valuable lesson in staying vigilant about the financial products you use and the rates you actually receive. If you don't receive your payment by mid-August 2026, don't panic right away, but take action. First, double-check the official settlement website for any announcements about distribution waivers or delays. Second, contact the administrator directly using the toll-free number to inquire about your status. Sometimes payments are held due to address issues, account verification, or high volume processing. Keeping good records of your past Capital One accounts will help speed up any resolution if needed. Being persistent but polite with the administrator usually gets results faster. In summary, the Capital One 360 Savings Class Action Settlement 2026 is real, it's approved, and payments are coming soon. If you had a qualifying account between September 2019 and June 2025, watch your mail and email in the coming weeks and months. Visit Capital One 360 Savings Account litigation.com today. Stay safe from scams, and most importantly, use any money you receive wisely. Maybe put it into a higher yielding account this time. If this video helped you understand the process, please hit the like button, subscribe for more settlement and money-saving content, and turn on notifications so you don't miss future videos. Drop a comment below. Did you have a Capital One 360 savings account during the class period? Are you expecting a payment? Let's discuss in the comments. I'll keep an eye on updates and will post follow-up videos when payments actually start going out. Thanks for watching this detailed guide. Your financial awareness helps protect you and your family. Take care, stay informed, and I'll see you in the next video.